Hi there, welcome to TD Cat Tech. I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. I'm going to put out 2 videos for this one. I've started kind of tightening up the edits on my videos really to cut out a lot of the wasted time. And I'm going to put 2 versions of this video up. One is going to be a kind of more tightly edited version for those of you who may be in a hurry or just doing other things and just want to watch something a little bit shorter. And the other one is just going to be effectively a full edit. Now, that's not a way for me to make more revenue or anything like that. I'm just curious to try it out and see sort of which one people prefer, because there are a lot of channels out there which put out like hour, 2-hour videos, and I just really enjoy watching them. I think it's probably an age thing or something. Anyway, today I'm looking at these. These are the Retevis RT649 radios, and of course if you're in the an FRS region, and this will be the RT49, because Retevis, with their naming conventions, put the 6 in front of the model after RT for the PMR446 region. So these have been sent to me by Retevis, and all I'm going to do today is an unboxing, power up the radios and just have a look at them and stuff. I'm not going to do a range test or a waterproof test. Going to do that on a separate video. The reason for that is because I want to get something out. I've had these sat around the office for a while here, and because they were sent to me, I want to get something out there, you know, just to kind of show that I am actually doing something with these and I haven't just sort of received them and said, thanks very much, see you later. Anyway, let's take a look at what you get in the box. Now, these things are, again, a little bit different for Retevis. I mean, they have a lot of products like this, but as far as the stuff that I've used of Retevis radios, they are a little bit different. So we get our user manual there in English, German, French, Italian, Spanish, and Russian. And these are, I must admit, they remind me a lot. Oh, they remind me a lot of this radio. So this is the Motorola T80 Extreme, and this is an old sort of classic. Had this years now, and they remind me a lot of those, and just everything about them really, layout and everything is kind of similar to this Motorola, but the Motorola does not have the IP rating that these radios do, because these are effectively waterproof and dustproof radios. They are IP67. So, for those of you who don't know about the IP rating or don't know the details of the IP rating, let's just take a quick look at that. And you can see that the first 6 is all about kind of solid ingress into the radio. And 6 means that it's effectively completely dustproof, which is actually quite a challenge. I know from my days of working with laptops and rugged laptops, that dust ingress can be really tricky. As you'd think that dust is much easier to sort of protect against than water. Not always the case. So 6 is good, means it's basically dustproof, and 7 means that it's waterproof, and it's been tested between 15 centimeters and 1 meter for like up to an hour or 30 minutes, I think it is. So 30 minutes up to 1 meter. So long story short, if you drop these in the water, they're not going to break. That's the theory anyway. They're quite chunky devices. I don't get the feeling that these are necessarily designed for, chucking in your pocket or anything like that. They are quite large, but not necessarily a bad thing, because if you are going to use something that's waterproof, you might just be using it, on the side of a boat or things like that, and it really doesn't matter how big it is. But if you look at the width of these are quite big radios, aren't they? I mean, even the antenna makes them really large. Nice size in the hand for someone with larger hands like me, but they're not mega portable. So yeah, the whole radio is this sort of luminescent green color. You may or may not like that. I actually like a bit of color in a walkie-talkie personally. Plus, of course, they're more visible. And so you get 2 of these radios in this particular set. 2 of these radios will set you back about £65, and you do also get batteries as well. And these are powered off AA batteries. It's a strange one, isn't it? I'm so used to Retevis stuff being lithium-ion. But no, as per the Motorola's, actually, the T80s, and even this one, in fact, even this Motorola radio. So there are sort of remnants of that in this too. So these are okay. These are powered from. They're from powered by AA. So yeah, they're powered by AA batteries. I'm just going to show you on the side of these batteries. If I just zoom in a little bit here on the camera. So you can see that these are 1,200 milliamp hour batteries. If you go down to a store and buy some Panasonic Eneloop Pros, they'll be 2,500. More than double the capacity of these little things. So I don't get the impression that you're getting kind of like super top-notch quality batteries with these, but never mind. That's okay. We'll let that go. Just let me get my camera sorted here. Okay, so you get 2 sets of those with the radio, as you would expect, and you also get a charging base as well. Again, something that you don't get too often anymore with the radios, and you can see that the AA batteries have the little kind of necessary charging ports on the back there. So I guess they just slot in here like this, and yeah, you can happily pop those on a desk and have those charging like that with what input on the back. So with the input on the back of the charger is just a standard micro USB. So still on micro USB, you get a pretty basic, probably power only micro USB cable in the box, and 2 very quite plasticky actually. Quite plasticky belt clips. Let's just see how they fit to the back of the radio. I'm assuming they're literally just slide and clip. Yeah, they I think they do the job. But none of your sort of better radios tend to have a little loop on the belt clip here. So if it comes off your jeans, it'll hook on to the last thing it has. But yeah, a fairly basic belt clip. Not too bad though. So again, like the radio I was just comparing to there, you've got to unscrew these to get into them. So I got to unscrew both of these. I'm going to have to find something to do that because I don't think this is going to work with my nail. Let's see if my tripod thing will work. No, it's too wide. Right, just one second. I've just got to go and find something to screw these in. This is not what I was after, but it's going to have to do because it's the only one I can find at the moment. So let's unscrew this and let's take a look inside and see if we can get a better idea of how these are, how the gaskets are done on these two. There we go. Yeah, you can clearly see around the edge there the gasket used for waterproofing. So all this bit around here won't be waterproof, and then you get around the gasket here and that completely seals off the radio and the batteries, the power from water. Yeah, let's get these powered up anyway. I'm going to rely on the fact that one of these batteries, or some of the set of batteries, have enough charge in them to power these radios now. With these being nickel metal hydride cells, that might not be the case. Let's take a look. Is there any brand on these at all? Oh, there is a brand on them. Grepow. Can we get the camera to focus on that? There we go. Grepow. That's the make of the battery. That famous battery make. Grepow. Okay. Anyway, I do like radios that are powered by AA's because you can just carry a load with you and swap them out, and you know that, like, even though they have their downsides too, you can get a lot of power out of 3 decent AA batteries, and yeah, because you can carry replacements, you can just get back up and running if you're really short or something like that. So let's put this back on. Just going to do that fairly lightly. Don't think this needs to be particularly tight. All right. So, do you think this radio's got any power in it or not? Let's have a look. Ooh, I think it has. Let's peel off the label there. So there we go. That display goes off really, really quickly, doesn't it? So that appears to be, that's just volume level, I think. Okay, doesn't seem to be much difference between them, but that's just the beep, so that isn't really a good indicator. So channel 1. Okay. Call button there. And the lamp, it's got a torch on it. For all those people who like torches on their walkie-talkies, it has a torch on the bottom. Look at that. That's actually not bad. And the other thing this radio has, again, looking at the kind of outdoor use, you know, out on a boat, something like that, it's got a little SOS function on here too. And apparently that makes a noise and flashes the light, does it? Let's have a look. Do you have to hold it down or something? That's pretty bright. So as you can see there in red LEDs flashing the SOS Morse code. And there was a tone there at the start of it too, but that seems to stop after a while. So I guess the radio will float. These radios do float. So if this is in water and you got your SOS going, you might be able to see something in the water. I mean, it's not that bright, but if it was dark, that would be good enough, I think. Okay, so what else can we see on the radio? I'm not quite sure how you change channel. Okay, there we go. Menu. Looks like you just do menu. Move up, and it's a 16-channel radio, this one. There we go. So let's put this on channel... Let's put this on channel 8. And this, again, is your... I'm guessing this is a subcode, right? This is a CTCSS thing. So does this go up to like 100 and something? 150 something? 121. So this is your CTCSS DCS code. 0 will mean off completely, and by default it's set to 1, which will be 67 Hertz, which is your first CTCSS tone. And then you move up through the tones and then back up through the DCS codes, so the digital side of it, and then back up to 0 again. So, okay, so we've now got this on 8 and 1. I'm going to bring in my scanner here. I hope I've got enough battery on this to... I don't think I've got much battery left on the scanner, but I'm going to give it a try. And let's just see if we can verify what I was just talking about there. And I'm going to just set that to scan. It's going to scan PMR 446 in full. Yeah, and there we go. So you can see on the display there of the scanner, we've got channel 1. Sorry, PMR channel 8, should I say. CTCSS of 67 Hertz. So I can just not do that on the scanner. I can change this on the radio now. Just menu and move, let's say move down to channel 5 and maybe go to 121. And I've now gone into the menus. That's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, so channel 5, again, just looking at the radio there. Channel 5, 121, should be a DCS tone with that, a DCS code. And there we go. channel 5, DCS of 754. So that's all you need to do on this radio to set it up. It's really simple. Just they're using the privacy code idea, exactly the same as Motorola do, rather than your sub channel. I think they also call it, rather than DCS and CTCSS frequencies. And that's easier, I think, for most people. It also means, of course, that you don't, with this radio, have to go into any kind of programming software to be able to change that. And that's really good. So yeah, so power on and off, call, you got your light there, and you got monitor. So monitor is, of course, taking off the squelch. So the squelch auto mutes the static on the radio. So if I press the monitor now, and then scan, okay, it goes on to scan. So press and hold. There we go. You can see that it opens up the squelch and lets you listen for more distant stations than would otherwise break through the squelch and be audible to you. And what else do we have in the menu? I'll just quickly go through the menus on these. I appreciate you can't see this too well. Let's just zoom in on the camera. But that timeout is really quick. Vox. Second channel. Is there a second channel on this? I'm not too sure. I'm going to have to look on the manual for this. I'm going to have to look in the manual. 1 second. Because there seems to be some kind of... This is a half-watt radio, of course, PMR 446. Oh, okay, there is a water-activated LED on this. So once the device is dropped into water, the white LED will be activated automatically to ease user to locate the device in a dark environment. What a nice idea that is. And yeah, so press and hold the SOS button for 3 seconds and the red LED will be activated, and then press it again to deactivate. That's the SOS Morse code that I was showing you just a second ago. Roger beep. Press and hold the up button while turning the radio on to turn on the Roger beep. So there is a Roger beep on this as well. Right, okay. I want to try that. Let's turn it off. Press and hold power button. Yeah, okay, so press and hold the up button while turning it on. Okay, so is that on now? Nope, doesn't sound on to me. What did I do wrong? Maybe it was on already, actually. Was it on already? And was it on already and I didn't notice? Press and hold the up button. So I can hear the Roger beep on the radio, but I can't hear it coming through on the scanner. Maybe it does. I haven't got batteries in the other one to test that. But yeah, I was looking just for what that second channel thing was. Okay, so the manual here, I don't know if you can see that or not. The manual here calls them subcodes. Fair enough. They go for that naming convention. Dual channel monitor. Okay, here we go. With this feature enabled, so it says here, dual channel monitor. With this feature enabled, you can scan the current channel and another channel alternately. You mean as well? Press the menu button until 2 channel appears on the display. The current settings of 1 to 22 will flash. Press up or down to select the channels and press the push to talk to exit the menu. The screen will alternate between the home channel and the dual watch channel. Interesting. Okay, so let's give that a go. So let's go to a super shiny screen, that, isn't it? It's reflecting off all my lights here. So let's go into the menu, go to the subcode and Vox, and 2 channels currently off, I think. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to say I want to do channel 8. And there we go. So the display goes off incredibly quickly. I don't know if you can change that or not, but there we are. You can see that that's now dual watching the channels and sharing its time between both. So as well as the scan function, which obviously takes a certain amount of time to continually scan around maybe all the frequencies if they're the ones you've got set up in your scan list, you can also just watch 2 channels. So you might have one that you're using for your main communication. You might want to leave it on channel 8 for all the activity on the 8net on a Sunday evening, for example, something like that. There we go. So yeah, I actually really like these. I'm looking forward to doing kind of a range test and just making sure they perform. I think I'll actually compare them to the Motorola. I normally compare to the XT420, but I think I'll compare directly to these as it is so similar in its design. I think I will compare directly to that. But I know I really like it. It feels really sturdy. It's quite lightweight, actually. Even with the batteries installed, it feels fairly lightweight. And if you're going to get some Eneloop Pros in here, they do add quite a bit of weight. They are pretty heavy nickel metal hydride batteries. But this radio, it feels really, really solid, It might be a bit big for some people. I guess that would be my only criticism. The audio on it sounds all right. I guess first impressions, the only thing I would say really that I don't personally like is the fact that it's got a volume control like this. I still prefer a button. I prefer a button like this, an actual something to turn for the volume control. I don't like where you're having to kind of press buttons to go up and down, and you can't, apart from hearing that beep, get a real sense of how loud it is. I mean, I have to do that. Whereas with a button on the top, I can feel and go down to the bottom, and I can feel and then turn it up a little bit. That's my only complaint, really, because other than that, it sounds pretty good. I tell you what, before I go, let's just have a quick go. I'm just going to try and turn off the dual channel function. So let's go into here quickly. Second channel, can I just go down and turn it off? Off, right, there we go, and push to talk. Yep, that's turned that off. And then I'm going to change my channel to channel 8 and CTCSS off. Yeah, so okay, so the menu, to get out of the menus at any time, you can just press the push to talk button. That's a little bit simpler, isn't it? And I'm going to pop that one there, and I'm going to just grab this other Motorola. Got any batteries in this one? No, I haven't got batteries in that one. That's a shame. I tell you what, I will put the batteries in. Stand test. That's what I need to do, a stand test. Someone commented on one of my videos actually and said that stand test was really useful, and I think they're right. I think it's a good thing to do, right? Everyone should have to do a stand test on a radio. How well balanced is it? So let's have a look. It does stand up, but it's pretty badly balanced actually, that, because look, if I just touch it, hold on, you can't see there, can you? If I just touch this, it's down, right? It's okay the other way. See, it's okay the other way, but if I just touch it that way, it's down. So not very well balanced, but it does stand up. Okay, does that help? Maybe. Right. Let's get in this one. Fit the batteries to this too. I'm just going to move this box out of the way. In fact, I'm going to put you down on the floor because otherwise you're in one of my camera shots, and I want to avoid that if I can. So let's get these batteries open. Yeah, I always criticize these batteries, like just because they're not like Eneloops and stuff like that, but they're probably fine, I'm surely though that a battery that has 2,500 milliamp hours of capacity, isn't that kind of logically going to last much longer? I hope you can charge something like that in this. They don't come with any kind of charger, just the micro USB cable. So let's power this other one up. Let's peel this off the front. Press and hold to power up. And I'm going to set this one to the same channel. So menu, God, that's loud. Turn that down a bit. God, the beep on that one is so loud compared to the other one. Right, let's just have a look, see if we can get anything through on this. 1, 2. PMR 4. Oh. Whoa. Whoa, that's too... Ah, there we go. That's a bit better now. Good. PMR 446, channel 8. Anybody copy? PMR 4... Some weird stuff going on there, but it's difficult when you're using two radios right next to each other, because fact of the matter is, there's probably, you know, it's only half a watt, but they're still probably overloading the front end on the radio. So, 2. Try a bit further back. Yeah, sounds quite clear though. Quite clear and quite loud. Can I get it any louder on here? Yeah, it's doing some weird stuff. I hope it doesn't do that as standard. Yep. Yeah, it's quite loud. Decent volume. A nice sounds nice and clear. It says actually on the documentation that these have a 1 watt speaker. I mean, I don't know. They seem like they should have a reasonable speaker given the size of the things. Anyway, there we go. A look at the RT649. These nice little, they're not little at all, but these nice walkie-talkies. These are IP67, fully waterproof. Chuck them in the water, they float, and can use AA batteries on them as well. So if you want to stick in 3 really decent capacity AA batteries, you can, which is fantastic. Anyway, as I mentioned at the start of the video, I will be doing a range test on these, my standard local 300 meter range test, and I'll also be doing a waterproof test on these too. So stay tuned for that. Just wanted to get this unboxing and initial kind of first impressions and test video sort of done and up there on the channel, but we'll look at these again in the future. Thanks for watching. Any comments you've got? What do you think about these? They're nice. I like them. But yeah, have you tried these out? Have you tried something similar out? Are you also in agreement with me that they're very, very similar to the Motorola's from a few years ago? Anyway, thanks very much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye.